Good evening. Hello and welcome. You're watching Super 6. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll be getting you all the top stories of the day. But let's begin by giving you a glimpse of what to expect over the next 1 hour on this broadcast. We're going to be getting you the big political showdown playing out over abuse politics in Bihar. Unfortunate discourse in politics that we're seeing right now with name calling taking place rather brazenly at that. There's been non-stop attacks pouring in from the BJP at the Congress over one of their workers caught on camera abusing Prime Minister Modi. It's not the first time we've seen it, and unfortunately it's seeped into the political discourse in Bihar as well. We'll be talking about that. That's our top focus here on Super 6. But also coming up on the show, as we tell you what's happening in the southern states, our Mood of the Nation surveys numbers are out. I'm going to be putting the spotlight on Tamil Nadu. Months to go for elections in Tamil Nadu. What is the current sentiment in the state? If elections were to be held right now in Tamil Nadu, we're talking about general elections, which way would the mandate go? I'm going to be telling you all about our findings in the Mood of the Nation survey. Let's begin first, as always, with the Prime Minister Modi meets Japanese counterpart. India and Japan set 10 trillion yen investment target in India. Roadmap for next 10 years discussed. Home Minister Amit Shah's big attack on Congress and Rahul over abuse to Prime Minister Modi, asks Rahul to apologise. Massive clash erupts in Patna as stones are hurled and vehicles vandalised. TMC MP Maua Moitra says Amit Shah's head must be chopped off and put on the table. Complaint filed against Maua as the BJP lashes out to the TMC MP. RSS chief speaks out. Bhagwat jokes, if we choose BJP chief, there won't be any delay. RSS reiterates they have no role in governance. Another alleged suicide horror in Bengaluru triggered by Dowry. 27-year-old found hanging at her residence. Mother claims harassed by in-laws for more dowry. She took the extreme step. Trump aids laundromat attack on India. Again, Navarro renews the India-Kremlin laundromat jibe. Says India gives financial boost for Russia war. We've been seeing the Congress on an all-out campaign in Bihar, holding the Vote Adhikar Yatra, led by, of course, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. It was one such rally where you had Congress workers gathered. The Gandhis weren't there, but at that gathering, slogans were raised targeting Prime Minister Modi. But these were below-the-belt slogans because Prime Minister Modi, in those slogans, was being abused by one particular Congress worker who's now been taken into custody. This incident took place in Darbhanga, and since then, it's escalated into a full-blown political war, so much so that we saw this playing out today. BJP workers staging protests at the Congress office in Patna. It led to vandalism, it led to violence. It took the police finally stepping in and lathi-charging crowds for the situation to be brought under control. All of this street fight triggered essentially by the politics that we've been witnessing. Top leaders of the BJP, including Home Minister Amit Shah, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, speaking out one after the other, putting the onus now on Rahul Gandhi to clarify whether he agrees with the kind of abuses hurled by a Congress worker.
This mega show of strength by Congress and RJD has snowballed into a massive political controversy. On Wednesday, after Rahul Gandhi left the venue in Darbhanga, Congress workers abused Prime Minister Narendra Modi from the stage. Home Minister Amit Shah condemned the comment, calling it a new political law and demanded an apology from the Congress.
2 दिन पहले जो हुआ इसने सारी सीमाएं लांघी। मोदी जी की माता जी का जीवन एक गरीब घर में अपने सभी संतानों को संस्कारित कर कर ऐसे स्तर पर पहुंचा जाए कि बेटा विश्व का नेता बने, ऐसे जीवन को अपशब्दों से बोलना ये भारत की जनता कभी सहन नहीं कर सकती। और इससे ज्यादा राजनीति में सार्वजनिक जीवन का कोई पतन नहीं। और मैं आग्रह भी करना चाहूंगा राहुल गांधी जी के कि जरा भी शर्म बची है तो मोदी जी की, उनकी स्वर्गीय माता जी की और देश की जनता की जरूर माफी मांगे आप।
This incident has given the BJP fresh ammunition to corner the opposition in Bihar. The BJP claimed that hooliganism is a basic characteristic of the RJD and Congress was blindly following its ally in the quest for power.
इस गाली का एक एक पाय असूला जाएगा। आपकी मां ने कहा था मौत का सौदागर, आपने उनकी मां को लगा के गाली दी है। शर्म करो, शर्म करो। अगर मैं होता तो जुबान खींच लेता उस मंच पे जाकर के।
Rahul Gandhi, from the day one, if you just go through his speeches, he just abuses. He doesn't make speech actually. There should be some statesmanship in the performance or in the words of the leader of opposition.
BJP workers staged protest outside the Congress office in Patna. Later clashes broke out between BJP and Congress workers. Both parties accused each other of instigating the clash.
कांग्रेस का मुख्यालय है और यहाँ पर आप देखिए किस तरीके से कांग्रेस दफ्तर के ठीक बाहर सैकड़ों की संख्या में बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता हाथों में झंडे और डंडे लेकर पहुंचे हुए हैं। कई विधायक यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं और कांग्रेस मुख्यालय पर जो है वो पत्थरबाजी भी की गई है, गाड़ियों के शीशे भी तोड़े गए हैं। और आप देखिए किस तरीके से यहाँ पर जो है पूरा बवाल मचा हुआ है। देखिए बवाल किस तरीके से मचा है। कांग्रेस कार्यालय के अंदर चल के आपको दिखाते हैं। यहाँ पे देखिए कांग्रेस कार्यालय पर देखिए यहाँ पे शीशे किस तरीके से तोड़े गए हैं। यहाँ पे आप देखिए और किस तरीके से यहाँ पत्थरबाजी भी जो है वो की गई है। यहाँ पर कांग्रेस कार्यालय पर
गेट बंद है, उन्होंने गेट तोड़ के अंदर घुसा है और वहां तक गए लोग, लास्ट तक गए, कैंपस तक पत्थर लेके खदेड़ा हम लोगों ने।
कितने की संख्या में लोग?
कम से कम 200 की संख्या में। सबके पास आज कारतूस भी होगा।
गुंडागर्दी इन कांग्रेसियों की। हम लोग तो शांतिपूर्ण मार्च निकाले हुए थे, लेकिन इन लोगों ने जो 2005 का बिहार था, जो गुंडागर्दी मवालियों का बिहार इन लोगों ने किया था, आज वही कर रहे हैं। अंदर से लाठी पत्थर रोड़ा, हमारे दर्जनों कार्यकर्ता का सर फूटा है। एक तो प्रधानमंत्री जी की गरीब माता जी जो स्वर्गीय हो गए, उनको अब शब्द का बौछार किया गया, अब शब्दों का बेचा नीचता की पराकाष्ठा कर दी गई और अब फिर यहाँ पर गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, the Congress claimed that it was not in the party culture to hurl abuses at the Prime Minister.
बिल्कुल गलत है। मैं समझता हूँ हमारी राजनीति में इस प्रकार की भाषा की कोई जगह नहीं है। मैं उसकी निंदा करता हूँ, भर्त्सना करता हूँ। हमारी पार्टी का कोई लेन देन नहीं था। यात्रा निकल गई थी, मंच पर कोई व्यक्ति चढ़ गया और अपशब्द का प्रयोग किया, उसकी मैं निंदा करता हूँ। और हमने हमारी पार्टी ने कभी भी इस प्रकार की राजनीति को बढ़ावा नहीं दिया। मैं समझता हूँ बड़ा निंदनीय है और इस प्रकार की भाषा का कोई स्थान हमारे देश की राजनीति में नहीं है।
The dates for assembly election have not been announced yet, but battleground Bihar is heating up. With Rohit Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you a quick update that's coming in on the man who's been arrested for abusing Prime Minister Modi, identified as Rizvi alias Raja. He's been sent to jail for 14-day judicial custody now. He was taken into custody, arrested this morning after police went through all of the CCTV footage and identified exactly who had chanted that abusive rant against Prime Minister Modi. You can see on your screens there the video that had emerged. You can't really make out who was chanting the slogan, which is why it took a couple of days for the police to crack. Now the man who had chanted that slogan, identified as Rizvi, has been taken into custody, 14-day judicial custody. He's been remanded to right now. So far as the Congress's version goes, there have been several leaders who've condemned the kind of comments that were made, saying this is not what the party stands for. Others, however, have claimed that this is all an attempt to divert attention from Rahul Gandhi's vote chori charge. And so they're saying that this man has been planted, essentially. Let's get you the images on the left of your screen. So the first pictures of Rizvi as he was taken into custody by the Bihar police. He's just been produced in court and so remanded to 14-day judicial custody. Okay, let me bring in on this broadcast now Aishwarya Paliwal as well as Maushmi Singh to get you a sense of really the BJP strategy on this issue and also how the Congress is countering all the fire from the BJP on this. Maushmi, to you first. A lot of questions right now, and you've been tracking, of course, this entire Yatra in Bihar, so you'd be best placed to really break down for us all of the reports that claim that, look, this was a rally of Rahul Gandhi's. Was that actually the case, and how is the Congress actually planning to firefight all of the charges coming their way now over these abuses?
Absolutely, Akshita. You know, the Congress would like to keep its focus on the Yatra and as it reaches its culmination, and would feel that this is an unnecessary speed break or a hindrance of sorts. But if you see that, you know, that when that incident happened, it was during the day when MK Stalin and Priyanka Gandhi were right there in the Yatra. That stage was on the way from Darbhanga ahead and to Siddaramaiah, and Naushad is an old Congress worker, a leader in Delhi. He hails from Bihar, and he had put up that stage, and I had spoken to him personally. He said that he had left the stage after Rahul Gandhi's cavalcade actually went ahead. Now Rahul Gandhi really didn't stop at that point of time with Priyanka Gandhi on that stage that was made, because there was no destined stoppage on that stage. But clearly, you know, the Congress would like to have the focus back on the Yatra. And if you see the line of attack from the Congress leaders throughout the day, they've slammed the BJP instead and blamed it on the BJP, saying that it is the BJP who plants hooligans here and there.
But are we expecting some statement from Rahul Gandhi, Maushmi? Because, you know, the ideal way to nip this in the bud is to just have a condemnation, to say we don't agree with this kind of language. It's not what the Congress stands for.
I think the Congress is in defiance in terms of what has happened. They say that, you know, suddenly somebody says something, we are not even there on the stage, the Yatra has passed by, and Pawan Khera, in fact, leading that line of charge, saying that the BJP has planted somebody. So then you wouldn't expect, if the party line is that, and Rahul Gandhi has said that you keep on doing violence and we'll keep on fighting, this will not deter us. So that means that the Congress has decided to take it head on.
Correct. Yeah. I'll also bring in Aishwarya Paliwal to understand the BJP strategy here, because Aishwarya, it's unfortunately not the first time we've reported on something like this, which means it's unfortunately not the first time we've heard these kind of abusive rants. And I'm saying cutting across political party lines. In this particular case, the BJP, and you've got the likes of Home Minister Amit Shah raising this, because we've also seen previously how it's created a narrative in favor of the Prime Minister. When, you know, you see this kind of personal attacks, abusive attacks.
Well, you know, Akshita, you rightly pointed out, this is not the first time that we are seeing something like this, and these kind of statements, especially targeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they become a rallying point of sorts. We have seen Modi Ka Parivar, if you remember that campaign which was run by the BJP leaders, all of them stood behind Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and To be honest, Akshita, these kind of words should not be used. You cannot be speaking about anyone's mother. You know, you will feel hurt. I will feel hurt if someone speaks like that. And this is someone who's the Prime Minister of our country and someone whose mother is no longer with us. So with these kind of things, we will see the BJP upping the ante, asking questions and also saying that this is not the first time. They will also bring up the past. Home Minister Amit Shah very clearly said, had it been his mother, had these things been spoken about, he would have been very, very harsh with that person, would have even made sure that this person goes to jail. The person is in jail. The BJP has made this a rallying point. Akshita.
And in no circumstances, let's be very clear, in no circumstances are comments like this okay. In no political atmosphere, no matter how heated it is this kind of discourse okay, or this kind of narrative building where we resort to abuses and abusing the Prime Minister of the country at that. Maushami and Aishwarya, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. But there is something that I was referring to earlier, which is that we've seen the Prime Minister being targeted in this manner before as well. Since 2014, there have been several instances of Prime Minister Modi being abused. And I want to take you back to some of those controversial statements.
नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा कि आप क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे कुत्ते की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी। यह भी मैं आपको बोलना चाहता हूँ, हो सकता है इसके भी खिलाफ मेरे को एक अंदर नोटिस मिल जाए, उसकी कोई परवाह नहीं है। हम लड़ते हैं, आगे भी लड़ेंगे।
हमारी दो चुनी तीन चुनी हुई सरकारों को कैसे गिराने का काम किया है, और ये लुटेरों की सरकार मोदी जो मदारी के रूप में इस देश में आके और पूरी तरह से तानाशाही स्वरूप में आ गया है। मुझे तो लगता है कि हिटलर का सारा इतिहास इसने पार कर लिया।
एमएलए इलेक्शन या एमपी इलेक्शन उनको प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना है तो फिरते रहते हैं, लेकिन हर वक्त अपनी ही बात करते हैं। आप किसी को मुद्दे को मोदी को देखकर वोट दो, भाई तुम्हारे को तुम्हारी सूरत कितनी बार देखना, कॉर्पोरेशन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमएलए इलेक्शन भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमपी इलेक्शन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, हर जगह कितने भाई, क्या आपके रावण के जैसा 100 मुख है क्या है, समझ में नहीं आता।
मुझको लगता है कि ये आदमी बहुत नीच किस्म का आदमी है, इसमें कोई सभ्यता नहीं है, और ऐसे मौके पर इस प्रकार की गंदी राजनीति की क्या आवश्यकता है।
नहीं करता, मैं तो सड़क का आदमी, अपने साथी के लिए मार भी दूंगा और मर भी जाऊंगा। ना मरने से डरता ना मारने से डरता, दोनों से नहीं डरता। और भाई ड्रामेबाजी करने को कोई कुछ ही कर ले, नरेंद्र मोदी से कौन लड़ेगा? लड़ेंगे जो ठोक के जवाब देना जाने साले को, मोदी को मोदी के ठोक के। वो गुजरात समझ रहा 4% मुसलमान है गुजरात में, यहाँ 42% मुसलमान है, यहाँ गुजरात बना देगा, साले की बोटी काट देंगे छुट्टी छुट्टी करके।
And unfortunately, the politics of hate continues. A complaint has been filed now against TMC MP Mahua Moitra after she attacked Home Minister Amit Shah, seemingly suggesting that Amit Shah should be targeted, even suggesting that he should be beheaded. This was on the issue of infiltration of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants that you had Mahua Moitra speaking, in which she said that Amit Shah must be beheaded and that his head must be placed on the table for display. And this is because she was demanding accountability from the centre for, in fact, the infiltration. And so a complaint has been filed now against Mahua Moitra for her remarks on this issue. Let's get you, in fact, the statement that Mahua Moitra had made, where she was speaking on the infiltration issue, which we've seen, of course, has been a big political issue in Bengal, particularly between the BJP and the TMC. The BJP has gone all guns blazing against the Trinamool Congress on this issue. There's been no clarification that's come in from Mahua Moitra yet.
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছি, যদি ভারতের সীমান্ত রক্ষা করার আমাদের কেউ নেই, যদি অন্য দেশের মানুষরা রোজে শয়ে শয়ে লাখে লাখে কোটি কোটিতে ঢুকে যাচ্ছে, যে আমাদের মা বোনদের উপর চোখ দিচ্ছে, আমাদের জমি কেড়ে নিচ্ছে, তা তোমার প্রথমেই তো অমিত শাহের মাথাটা কেটে তোমার টেবিলে দেওয়া উচিত।
मेरा मानना यह है कि इस तरह का वो देश के गृह मंत्री हैं, हम सख्त उनके मुखालिफ हैं आइडियोलॉजिकली, और जब तक हम जिंदा रहेंगे उस आइडियोलॉजी के खिलाफ हम लड़ते आए, लड़ते रहेंगे। मगर इस तरह का उन्होंने बयान दिया है तो महिला मोहतरा को बताना चाहिए कि वो क्यों इतना गंभीर बयान उन्होंने दिया, इस तरह का बयान दिया।
उनका इरादा भी वैसा कोई फिजिकली हिट करने को वो नहीं था, वो एक सिंबलिक, ये प्रॉब्लम ऐसा है, ये है ग्रामेटिकल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी refers to the use of sophisticated and elaborate grammatical structures in language, indicating a deeper command of syntactic resources and patterns. वो ये जो है, वो जो वर्ड जो है, जो वो मीन कर सिंबॉलिक वैसे जो मीन करना चाहते थे वो ठीक से नहीं हुआ, लेकिन उसका कोई इरादा अमित शाह जी को कोई फिजिकली अटैक करने का, हिट करने का वो नहीं था।
So we just played out for you the clarification that's come in from the Trinamool Congress, saying that what Mawa meant was completely different for what's been taken away from that particular statement that she's made, saying she didn't literally mean beheading. It was a figure of speech, is what the Trinamool Congress has said. We'll track the reactions on that. But let's also focus on another controversy that's playing out, with the BJP mocking Siddaramaiah over the fact that he's part of their Vote Adhikar Yatra in Bihar. And the BJP has highlighted how in 1991, Siddaramaiah had in fact levelled poll fraud charges against the Congress. This in fact has played out because essentially what the BJP is accused the Karnataka Chief Minister of is doublespeak, hypocrisy, because what the BJP is recalled is Siddaramaiah's 1991 defeat to the Congress, in which he'd cited malpractice. Siddaramaiah at that point was with JDU, and now he's joining the Voter Adhikar Yatra rally in Bihar.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು 91ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ಸೋತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಅದು ಮೋಸದಿಂದ ಸೋತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಆಗ ಇವ್ರ ಕಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸಿದೆ ನಾನು, LG ಅವನೂರವರು ಕೂಡ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇವರು ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವರೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ₹1 ಫೀಸು ತಗೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
He only declared that. So by vote theft, Congress has been defeated me. By that time, he is contested from the Janata Dal, not from Congress. See, in those days, Congress was the biggest thief to vote theft. Now, they are talking like a Harishchandra. See, after the introducing the EVMs, it is not at all possible for the vote theft. But they are creating a doubt in the minds of the voters to misguide them and to capture the vote.
In 1991, Mr. Siddaramaiah, who's accusing of vote fraud, lost against a Congress candidate during the Congress government at the center. Mr. Siddaramaiah's remark is completely showing the mirror of reality to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, that it is the Congress party which has a checkered history of booth capture, vote fraud and electoral malpractices. After Mr. Siddaramaiah's candid admission and expose, Mr. Rahul Gandhi should immediately suspend his Vote Adhikar Yatra and start a Maafi Yatra from Karnataka, from Mr. Siddaramaiah's house.
Okay, let's bring in Nagarjun Dwarkanath for more details on this. Nagarjun, just explain to us what exactly happened. Look, the Chief Minister is currently in Bihar, but what exactly happened in 1991 that led to actually Siddaramaiah levelling the exact same charge that the Congress is levelling today, except that time he had levelled it against the Congress?
Well, yesterday in an event while addressing the gathering, it was an advocate event that was felicitating Advocate Ravi Verma Kumar in Vidhan Soda. Then he remembered his time in 1991 when Advocate Ravi Verma Kumar fought his case. And what was the case? He said that in 1991, I stood for Lok Sabha from Koppal Lok Sabha constituency and I had lost by mere 10,000 margin. And Lok Sabha 10,000 is a too thin of a margin. And he felt that it was because of cheating that he had lost his seat in Koppal Lok Sabha. And back then, Siddaramaiah was contesting on Janata Dal ticket, and the Congress candidate had won the Lok Sabha seat from Koppal constituency. And now the BJP has latched on to the point that, look, Siddaramaiah himself used to agree that Congress used to win Lok Sabha back then in 90s because of cheating methods. But what exactly are those methods? We still don't know because the Chief Minister didn't dive deep into this aspect of was it vote chori or was it manipulation of the election commission? Was it poll booth capturing? We don't know what exactly he meant, but he did say that because of cheating methods that he lost his seat. And now on the day of Bihar rally, that BJP has held on to the point that it's double standards of the Congress when their own chief minister is speaking against their party in the 90s.
Thanks very much, Nagarjan, for joining us with all of those details. Okay, let's move on and get to our other big story of the day. India Today's Mood of the Nation survey. We've been getting you numbers of what the current sentiment is across the country on different political issues. But I want to put the focus right now on the state of Tamil Nadu. Why Tamil Nadu? Because elections are up in just a few months from now. So we wanted to take a look at what exactly would be the result if elections were held today in Tamil Nadu. Mind you, these are general elections. So let's take a look at what really the result was in 2024 and compare that to what our Mood of the Nation survey is showing currently. First, focusing essentially on the vote share as far as the India bloc goes. And remember that that includes the DMK in the 2024 elections, the biggest player in the elections in Tamil Nadu. They were at 47%. If you look at the numbers right now, slight increase to 48% based on our Mood of the Nation survey right now. So what I'm focusing on is the first and the last column there. So this is the 2024 election results versus what our Mood of the Nation survey has found now, August 2025. For the NDA, from 41%, they actually dropped down to 37%. What I also want you to take a look at is the others category, and I'll explain why in just a bit. From 12%, that actually goes up to 15%. So it's almost as if the change for the NDA is largely because it's jumping right into the others vote share. Is that a Vijay factor? We'll talk about that. But let me first break it down for you seat-wise as well. What is the Mood of the Nation survey showing? Is it DMK all the way through, much like what we'd seen in the 2024 elections? Yes, but there's a slight change here. What you see in the vote share isn't necessarily reflected in the seat share. We've seen that before as well, because of 39 seats, all of which, by the way, was won by the DMK and their allies last time around. The number, if you look at it now, if elections were to be held today, of those 39 seats, there would actually be a distribution. 35 to 36 seats is what our Mood of the Nation survey is showing could go to, in fact, the DMK plus their allies. 2 to 3 could go to the NDA. That includes the AIADMK as well. Not surprisingly, the vote share as far as others goes at 15% doesn't really translate to seats. At others, it's still zero. But those numbers are interesting. I want to bring in on this broadcast Sumansi Raman as well as Amitabh Tiwari, founder of Vote Vibe. Amitabh Tiwari, I'll come across to you. What do you make of these numbers? What it shows clearly at this point is that the DMK and their allies very much are on top, but you look at that seat share, there has been a slight change. The AIADMK plus the NDA seem to be inching slightly forward. Is that an indication of anti-incumbency, you think?
No, see, essentially these numbers are about the Lok Sabha, and as you have clearly mentioned, Lok Sabha elections would be very different, can be very different from the Vidhan Sabha elections. In Lok Sabha elections, the battle is between DMK and BJP, whereas in the Vidhan Sabha elections, it shifts from DMK and BJP to DMK and AIADMK. In the Lok Sabha election in 2024, see, any alliance is about arithmetic and chemistry. The two parties, AIADMK, BJP, had contested together the Vidhan Sabha election, bagging 41% vote share. They split with 23 and 18% vote share, and DMK swept the state. Arithmetically, had they contested together, the number would have been 26-13, which now it is showing as 35.3 or 36.3, assuming these numbers are true for C voter. Now, it seems that DMK is holding fort in a general election largely on account of emotional issues like the Tamil pride or Hindi imposition, alleged interference by the governor, sub-regionalism when it comes to a national election. Now, when it comes to a Vidhan Sabha election, we all know that these issues might not hold, and bread and butter issues like law and order, women security, infrastructure, development, corruption, etc. might hold fort. The other number I think which we also need to see to gauge the Vidhan Sabha impact is the most popular CMs in your survey, and that is itself showing a very different story. In the Lok Sabha elections, the DMK is ahead, largely on account of Tamil pride and emotive issues. But in the Vidhan Sabha elections, if I just go by the most popular CMs, Stalin, who used to feature in top two, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Your surveys for the past 1.5 years, I think this time has moved out of top 10 even. Correct. And that shows the anti-incumbency against the state government. And Tamil Nadu is a state which chooses an alternate government every 5 years. So that's going to be a cracker.
As far as chief ministers go, today we're going to be putting out those numbers of who the most popular chief minister is. Whether Stalin features in that list or not, we'll know in a few hours from now. But Amitabh Tiwari, how much, and I want to focus on that others category, because I think one of the biggest questions this election is going to be about the Vijay factor, whether it's a factor or not at all. In this particular case, what do you make of the others, the vote share increasing, seat share? Understandably, it's still at 0, but the vote share going up.
Yes, see, others would largely comprise of TVK and Siemens party, which is NTK. Now, 12 to 15% vote share is not a significant vote share, which translates into seats. For seats, you need around 20 to 25% vote share in a Lok Sabha election or even in a Vidhan Sabha election. So, Vijay is gaining popularity. We've seen massive rallies, and he is popular largely amongst the youth. The party does not have an organization. Whether his popularity translates into vote share or not, does he have winnable candidates on all the 234 seats? These are some things which will fructify in the next 8 to 10 months. Correct.
Amitabh Tiwari, also, the point that you made right up on top is, of course, that what we're talking about, the Mood of the Nation survey, is about general elections. The issues are very different. But how much do you think we can actually, glean away from these numbers to kind of say that this could happen in the assembly elections? Or do you think that there's no way you can actually compare the two?
No, I would say there is no way you can compare the two, because if you recollect, even in the 2021 Vidhan Sabha election, which was fought without Jayalalitha at the helm, EPS or AIADMK did give a competitive fight. The tally, I think, was 70 plus.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, 70 plus in terms of seats, and we have seen historically how in Tamil Nadu the incumbent government is thrown out and it falls to 20-30 seats. We've seen in this century itself. So it did hold fort. EPS did hold fort, and he has emerged as also the clear leader of the party. There were factionalism with OPS, Shashikala factions, but now EPS is the clear leader. So 3 to 4 seats translating into a Vidhan Sabha tally would be very less, correct? So I don't think that would be appropriate to see. And also on the most popular CM, I am just going by the India Today article of the Northeast, which shows that Himanta Biswa Sarma is the top, and I don't see Stalin's name in the top 5. So I am also just making a guess that it could have moved out of 5, and we'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
All right. So interesting times ahead. There's no doubt about that. But Amitabh Tiwari, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective, your view of these numbers, the Mood of the Nation survey numbers as far as Tamil Nadu goes. Look, what we've shown, and Amitabh Tiwari has also highlighted that, is essentially that these are numbers for general elections. If general elections were to be held in those 39 seats of Tamil Nadu today, what we showed is the result. When it comes to an assembly election, issues are different. The biggest question, and we've seen this being the biggest factor also in a way in Tamil Nadu elections, in assembly elections, has been anti-incumbency. How strong is the anti-incumbency on the ground? How much can AIADMK actually use it to ensure the narrative is in their favor? That perhaps is what will decide an election, especially in Tamil Nadu. And perhaps that's why Vijay also is focusing so much of his energy on targeting the DMK and targeting the BJP as well. But I want to quickly break down for you the big takeaways that emerge from the numbers that we've put out in our Mood of the Nation survey. Strictly looking at those numbers, the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam has a comfortable lead. But again, I will reiterate that these are general election numbers, 39 parliamentary seats in Tamil Nadu. We don't know what really overall the assembly seats will look like, the 234 seats. Takeaway number 2, as per these numbers, there's no big anti-incumbency factor. And the reason I stress on that is because, like I said earlier, anti-incumbency is a big issue in Tamil Nadu. It moves and rocks the elections in the state. The AIADMK, looking at those numbers, is still far behind. Mind you, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there was no alliance between the AIADMK and the BJP. That's changed. Will that change the equation, the numbers really, when it comes in a few months from now after the elections? Vijay could cause a vote share dent. And the reason I say that is because in the others category, in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, if the vote share was 13%, the Mood of the Nation survey is saying that could go up to 15%. So we've told you about Tamil Nadu. Let's talk about the other poll-bound state in the south, which is the state of Kerala. Let's take a look at what really the numbers were in 2024 versus what the Mood of the Nation survey actually shows. Now, if you look at first the vote share, the UDF, LDF and the BJP. Now, there are several takeaways here. The UDF actually, if you look at their vote share, goes down from 43% to 41%. The LDF from 32% is in fact down to 25%. But the biggest headline perhaps is the BJP from 17% in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, which for them, that itself was a very good performance, was a record performance, which also led to them having their first member of parliament in Kerala, in Thrissur, Suresh Gopi. So from 17% in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the Mood of the Nation survey is actually predicting that goes up to 24%. So very interesting vote share numbers. What does that look like as far as seats go? Let's take a look quickly at those numbers as well. For the UDF, LDF and for the BJP, which sees that sizable spike in vote share. As far as seats go, from 1 in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, which I was referring to, the seat of Thrissur, it could become 2 if elections were held today, general elections in Kerala, of the 20 seats that we're talking about here. The UDF won 18. They're still on top very clearly at 17. The LDF at 1. Essentially, if elections were held today, the result would more or less be the same for the LDF, except that their vote share also comes down. So interesting numbers these. What it does indicate is that the BJP is on the rise. General elections, yes, 20 parliamentary seats is what we're talking about. Is that something that will then translate to gains for the BJP in an assembly election as well? That's where the interesting fight will play out. That's where the interesting battles will happen. So we'll have to see what really the BJP factor is. But looking at these numbers, the UDF very much on top. Again, much like Tamil Nadu, comes down to the anti-incumbency factor. All right, let's move on and get you another story, this one from Karnataka. And it's a horrifying one of an alleged dowry harassment-related death. A 27-year-old woman took her own life allegedly because she was being harassed by her in-laws. Her husband has now been arrested for abetment of suicide. That's a charge against him because she took her own life. Her family claims she was being tortured repeatedly. Now, the victim here, Shilpa, her family alleged that there were constant demands for dowry by the in-laws, and that's what drove her to take this extreme step. The police have arrested Shilpa's husband, Praveen, a former software professional. Shilpa's parents stated that Praveen's family first demanded 15 lakh rupees in cash, 150 grams of gold jewelry, as well as household items before the wedding. They alleged that while they vented and fulfilled all of these demands, Shilpa was still repeatedly pressured for more money, for more gold. This is a heartbreaking reality that we're constantly reporting here on India Today, because every single day now, it seems, there are more and more incidents of these kind of dowry harassment cases that lead to such tragedies of lives being lost.
ಆ ಲೆಕ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ಆಮ್ಯಾಗ ನಾವು ಮನಿ ಮಾರಿ ಹುಬ್ಳ್ಯಾಗಿಂದ ಮನಿ ಮಾರಿ ಆಕೆ ಲಗ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್. 40 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮನಿ ಮಾರಿ ಲಗ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆಮ್ಯಾಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗ ಚೀಟಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಂದು ಚೀಟಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ BM ಟೆಕ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ಪಾನಿಪುರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಸರ್. ಪಾನಿಪುರಿ ಚಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗಿನ ಪೂರ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.